Hello everyone, this is Theo. Welcome to another limited color palette video. So the colors that I'll be using today, they were actually suggested by a viewer on my channel, Kelvin Wong. He suggested I try out Manganese Blue Hue PB15, Quinacridone Coral PR209, and Winsor Yellow from Winsor & Newton, but I don't have that particular color, so I'm using this Stephen Quiller Transparent Yellow Medium, which has the same pigment, PY154. Stephen Quiller watercolor is made by Jack Richardson. This is made in Belgium. I like that they have included all the necessary information about the paint, the light fast quality, transparency, whether the paint is staining or granulating, and they even included the complement of this particular color, which is ultramarine violet. The Smith is made in USA. Let's take a look at the sketch I'll be coloring today. So this is a sketch of my baby girl, Tiffany, at 10 months old. So she's at her playpen, which is orange in color. So I'm going to use these three colors to mix some skin tones, mix the orange and some greens and also the grays to create the shadows. Let's swatch out the colors first. So the first color that I have here, this is Stephen Quiller's Transparent Yellow Medium, PY154. Looks quite transparent, or maybe it's semi-transparent. Looks like a Hansa yellow to me. It's very intense. The chemical name for PY154 is actually benzene azolone yellow, which is a variation of azo yellow. So this is Daniel Smith's Queen Coral. It looks like a quinacridone rose. So Queen Coral looks like a cool red. It's very transparent, very vibrant. And this last color that I have here, this is Manganese Blue Hue PB15. So these are the three primary colors. Now one thing I noticed is I'm probably not going to be able to mix a dark value color because Manganese Blue Hue, this is not one of those really intense blue like phthalo blue or indanthrone blue. This is a rather light value blue. So I'll be able to mix grays, but not like dark values that are close to black. So I mentioned that Quinacridone Coral, it looks like a rose color, a cool red to me. But when I compare it side by side with Quinacridone Rose, this coral, this is actually a warmer color. So by comparison, Quinacridone Rose, it looks like a magenta to me. Let's start by using the yellow to paint some of the toys first. So Azo Yellow is a very nice mid yellow. It's a very light, fast color. And now I have a mix of yellow, coral, and tiny bit of Manganese Blue Hue to mix this skin tone. So we can get this very pastel-like color. I actually have another sketch on the opposite page where I'm going to color as well using the same mix. My daughter likes to pull up her shirt to sleep for some reason. Maybe it's cooler. And she sweats a lot. Next, I'm going to mix a very pale wash of yellow to paint half of this playpen, which is in light yellow. So I'm going to charge in some coral to give this wash some variation. Let's add a bit more coral here. And maybe here. So far so good. Next we'll have orange. So with orange I'm going to use more paint. Let's see if we can get an intense orange using just the yellow and Quinacridone Coral. This does look quite intense to me. And this is a very lovely mix. I like this color a lot. So it does seem like you can get a pretty intense orange. And this is the green that I mixed with yellow and manganese blue hue. Let me add a little bit more green, a bit more blue to this. This looks like a yellow-green to me. And now for some purples and violets. So we can get rather vibrant purples as well. Maybe for this toy here, let's make it a bit more red. So this is a very nice shade of purple. And lastly, let's mix the three colors together to get a gray. Let me try and mix the colors more on the paper. This is too much paint. So I had too much paint earlier, so I've just added more water to this. For the hair, I definitely need it to be a bit darker. This sketchbook that I'm using, by the way, this is the Stillman and Byrne sketchbook. This is the Beta series sketchbook. So let me try and soften the edges slightly. And also paint the shadows on this side. So for the shadows, I'm mixing with the three primary colors as well. A shadow with more blue may look a bit better here. Let me just use the same mix, the same shadow mix here. So let's put more red here. This, by the way, this is sort of like the darkest value I can get with the three mixtures. So it's not really that dark. Maybe I can use that to paint the hair here. Adding the darker value does make this look slightly better. So these are the possible color mixes we can get from this limited palette. And it's actually quite versatile in my opinion. So we can get rather nice orange, purples, and greens. You may see some patchiness in the wash because of the paper and also my patchy brush strokes. So the hair here, this is a mix of the three colors. If I need this to be darker, I will need to glaze over this maybe a few times. So that's the challenge with this limited color palette. Now the skin tone, it dried really nicely. So see this line here? It looks like I did not soften the edge properly. So now there's this hard edge here and also here. This is where I used too much paint and then I used the tissue to remove the paint and went in the second time and it looks like this. So the purple, it's really nice. I like this. You can see some granulation as well because of the manganese blue hue. And on the right side we have this drum. This is a nice green. I like this. So this is the shadow that I try to mix using the three colors. And we have more shadows on this side. This shadow has more coral in it. And this has more yellow and blue, so it looks a bit greenish, but you can still see the coral inside. When I mix it completely in the plastic palette, the mixture will look a bit muddy. But here you can see some separation if you let the colors mix on the paper. You can see some manganese blue hue inside. This is the other page. So this limited palette, this is great for mixing light and mid-tone colors. And if you use the colors without much mixing, they will appear very vibrant. So for the hair here, I glaze over it a second time. And I really like that you can see the individual colors within the shadow sometimes. So here we can see more blue, and here more coral. It's really nice to be able to see the color separation in the wash. Overall, this is a nice palette for glazing because the colors, they are quite transparent. This is for those people who like to paint lighter, who likes to use light and mid-tones, who don't like strong contrast. I will scan these 2 pages and put them on my blog so that you can check out the artwork, the sketches in higher resolution. The link will be in the video description below. And also let me know in the comment section below what you think about this limited color palette video. I would love to hear from you. And before you go, I would like to let you know that I am selling off some of my excess watercolor paint to make space to get more colors to test and also to make more videos like this. So if you're interested to get some watercolor paint from me, check out the link in the video description below. Alright, that's all. See you in the next video. Bye!